All right, Blitzen, we're talking about the GI tract. It starts off with our mouth. And then where does it go? Yeah, it goes to your pharynx. Now, Blitzen, even though you weren't here when we talked about the respiratory system, we learned what the pharynx is. Remember, it's called your throat. It's really your throat. And the pharynx is just a fancy word with your throat. Don't want to talk about it, Blitzen. Now, Blitzen, the next thing is the esophagus. See, Blitzen, what we got is we got the mouth, and then it goes to your pharynx right here. And then, Blitzen, we said that there's this thing right here that routes air to the lungs and food and water that goes down this tube to your stomach. And what this, what stomach, and what this thing right here is your larynx, your Adam's apple. It routes air to your, the L fell. I didn't touch it. You cool down there? Right. The larynx, it routes air to your lungs, food and water down your stomach. And this thing right here, that tube that goes from your larynx to your stomach, that's the esophagus. I ask you, Blitzen, how long is it? Blitzen, there's the Adam's apple. Blitzen, how long? Tell me when to stop. Blitzen, where's your stomach? Blitzen, tell me where your stomach might be. Where is it, Blitzen? Where is it? Where is it, Blitzen? Blitzen, you're right. It's about right here. Right there. So that means your esophagus is about 10 inches long. Now, Blitzen, it's kind of hard to do all this through a video here, Blitzen. Blitzen, it has 4 layers. How about this, Blitzen? Blitzen, let's not worry about the 4 layers. Oh, Blitzen, if we were in class, I'd be talking about the different layers. And the first layer is like really slippery, so food just slides down. Then the next layer, it's has blood vessels. Oh, Blitzen, I don't want to talk about it. Hand it off to Comet. Comet! Next, it goes to the stomach. How many bullets, Comet? A lot of them, isn't there, Comet? All right, Comet. Your stomach. Comet, what's the purpose of your stomach? All right, you chew your food there. You swallow it. It goes down your pharynx, goes to your past the larynx, goes to your esophagus, and now it's in your stomach. And Comet, the purpose of the stomach is to liquefy your food. Comet, you had some hay. How long ago? Oh, a couple hours ago. Comet, that hay is going to sit in your stomach, and there it's going to get totally liquefied. Comet, what liquefies your hay? Yeah, stomach acid. And stomach acid, it's a McNasty acid there, Comet. It has a pH of like 2. Comet, it will totally liquefy that hay. Comet, if you didn't eat hay, maybe you ate a hamburger, Comet. Well, it would totally liquefy the hamburger. And Comet, maybe you bit off an elf's finger and you swallowed it. Well, it go in your stomach and it'll get totally liquefied in there. Comet, what makes your stomach acid are these glands called gastric glands. I'm telling you, Comet, it's a nasty acid, Comet. Comet, I'm doing it. I'm trying it. Comet. Comet, here comes the esophagus, Comet. And then your stomach, Comet. Yeah, it's kind of like a C, Comet. And then a Comet, then it goes in your small intestine, large intestine, and out. Comment, this nasty acid that's just going to totally liquefy that hay that you ate. Comment, it's made by those cells called gastric glands. Oh my God, Comment, did you just ask that question? Comment, wonderful question. Class, I don't know if you heard what Comment said. Comment said, if it totally liquefies anything you eat, how come it doesn't liquefy the stomach? Comment, that's exactly where I wanted to go next. Because Comment, what you have is you have these cells that make this thick mucus. And Comment, what you have is you have this thick layer of mucus right here. Comment, it makes this thick layer of mucus. And Comment, this thick layer of mucus keeps the acid off the stomach walls. So Comment, what happens is that the acid, it does liquefy this mucus, but then you have these other glands that make more mucus. Oh my God. Comment, you're on a roll. Comment said, what happened if you don't make enough of that mucus? Or if you make too much acid? Comment, if you make more acid than mucus, yeah, comment. Oh, Comment, it just happened. Comment, then what happens is that you liquefy the stomach. And then you get stomach acid leaking out all here. Comment, how would that feel? It would. It'd be this burning sensation. Comment, what is it called? It's called the stomach ulcer. Comment, you're on a roll. Let's write some of this down. Comment, we wrote down it liquefies your food. You have these gastric glands that make stomach acid. And then let's write down mucus layer keeps acid from liquefying the stomach. And then let's write down stomach ulcer. Comment, a stomach ulcer is where it does liquefy the stomach and you get stomach acid leaking out. Comment, I don't know much about reindeer, but I know a lot about humans, and humans are very resilient. And if there's something wrong with us, our body does a pretty good job at healing itself. So if you got a stomach ulcer, well, then what you could do is you could work with a doctor, and then they can give you some medication that slows down how much stomach acid you make. And if you slow down how much stomach acid you can make, then you start making more of the mucus layer, and now your balance is right. And then your body, our human body, is really good at repairing itself. And we repair this hole in the stomach. And your stomach ulcer will go away. All right. Question for you there, Comment. How long does food stay in your stomach? Not bad. Food stays in your stomach somewhere between 4 and 6 hours. Comment, the more fatty the food is, it's going to be closer to 6 hours. For your hay that you eat, it's going to be more like 4 hours. Comment, I'll tell you what. You're on a roll. Comment, I'll throw you one. Keep going, Comment. Comment just asked, how big is the stomach? Comment, our human stomach, it can hold about 1 gallon. Comment! Oh, you're in class every day. Class, I don't know if you heard what Comment just said. He said, what about Joey Chestnut? How can Joey Chestnut eat 83 hot dogs in 10 minutes? Comment, what does that mean about his stomach? See, competitive food eaters, what they got to do is they got to push their stomach to maximum, every day. Comment, it's got to shove food in the stomach. And slowly what's going to happen is the stomach's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Comment, for humans, there's this thing, it's called the gallon challenge. And it's like this. Can you drink a gallon of milk in like 10 minutes? And comment, as long as like you have nothing in your stomach, like you haven't eaten anything in 6 hours, you could hold a whole gallon. But comment, if you have just a little bit in your stomach, well then you can't eat a whole gallon. And as soon as your stomach gets full of food or liquid, it's going to hit the automatic eject button. Oh, comment. That's called vomit. And oh my God, are you going to vomit up a lot? Comment. This get me a little bit queasy. Let's stop talking about it. How many more bullets you got there, Com? Let's do a couple more here. Comment. There's these things called pepsinogens. And comment, let's just define it. These are enzymes that work in your stomach. Comment. Let's do 2 more bullets. Comment again. We got the esophagus. Comment. We got the stomach. Comment. We got small intestine, large intestine, and out. Comment. Actually, what? Let's do 3 more bullets. Comment. There's some doors. Comment. This door at the top. This door between the esophagus and the stomach. That door is called the cardio-esophageal sphincter. It's the door between the stomach and the esophagus. It's a cardio-esophageal sphincter. Now, comment. Now we can define it. We talked a little bit about it in this class last week. We said that sometimes what happens, comment, is you got stomach acid. And you make so much stomach acid that it goes past the cardio-esophageal sphincter. And now, comment, what is it going to do to the esophagus? It's going to start to liquefy the esophagus. And it happens right here. And that's what heartburn is. So comment, we can write down heartburn. It's where the stomach acid goes past the cardio-esophageal sphincter. Comment, there's one more. It's the it's the door down here, comment. Comment, it's the door between the small intestine and the stomach. And that's called the pyloric sphincter. The pyloric sphincter is the door at the bottom of the stomach. And it waits until food is totally liquefied. And once it's totally liquefied, it opens and closes. And it lets out 3 milliliters of kukumbaki to go in the small intestine. Rudolph, you got to pick it up now, Rude. Rude, I got to end the video, start a new one.